Blog Talk Radio.
Well, how's it going, folks? Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of True Conservative Radio. I'm the host, of course, the man they call Ghost, and once again, I want to thank you for tuning in with me. There's been a lot of things that have happened since the last time we've talked to each other. The last time I did a show on here was an impromptu show on Super Tuesday, and that was before all the Super Tuesday primaries and caucuses had fulfilled themselves. And I was a little bitter. Unfortunately, I was a little upset at the fact that we're all submitting ourselves to social liberalism, which exactly is the topic this evening. This evening, I'm telling you, now that we understand that McCain and it looks like Hillary Rotten Clinton, unless Obama, somehow makes a miracle happen and beats the Clinton machine, it looks like we're going to have John McCain versus Hillary Rotten. And I just wanted to let everybody know, and this is going to be the topic this evening. Welcome, folks. Welcome to the new socialist and communist America, because that's exactly what's being implemented here. All right, I mean, it's obvious. I'm glad that the mainstream media has finally taken notice, and anybody who's out there who's new to my show, I urge you to go back into the archives. You can get back to my archives of all the shows I've done at www.blogtalkradio.com/ghost, G-H-O-S-T, and take a look. I was the first one to talk about this dissension, this split in the Republican Party. I was the first one to say it. And I just wanted to say to all those Republicans that were now talking about, the party needs to get behind McCain and we need to come together, we need to bow down to social liberalism, these people are talking against conservatives now. I want to tell all of you, I told you so. I told you there was a split in the Republican Party, conservatives and these social liberal Republicans, and I wanted to welcome y'all. I wanted to welcome y'all this evening. Welcome to the new communist socialist America, folks, because that's exactly what we're living in. Anyway, folks, I don't want to get all rowdy right now in the beginning of the show or anything. And I'm glad you're tuning in with me once again this evening. It's going to be 2 hours of conservative radio. Hopefully you have your vice around, whether you have pizza, coffee. I'm breaking open a bottle of beer. If you have yourself a libation, kick back with me, folks, because let me tell you, it's going to be a long ride for the next 4 years. I mean, it's going to be a long ride, and it's pretty glib. Like I stated previous, I don't mean to quote some ridiculous Scientologist nut job like Tom Cruise, but this election looks pretty damn glib. And we're going to be talking about it this entire evening. At the same time, I'm going to revisit the feminist issue later on in the show. I've been getting a lot of hate mail from feminists. We're going to read a few of those this evening. We're going to read a few of those this evening. And, of course, like always, we're broadcasting from the Blog Talk Radio Network. You can always reach Ghost at blogtalkradio.com/ghost. You can actually access the chat room out there, folks. If you're listening from another place on the Internet, you can just get to blogtalkradio.com/ghost, and you can get in on the chat room, which everybody likes to congregate in when we're doing the show. And as I take a look at the chat room, got a lot of people already. Let me give a few shout-outs here. What's going on? Ozone from Political Intervention. What's going on? Snort It. Well, thank you for coming in. And King Kong, thank you for coming in. Hopefully everybody is kicking back with me. We're going to have 2 hours of conservative radio. You can get back to me at 646-652-4869. Let me tell you something. I'm cracking open a beer right now. Let me crack that open here. There we go. Everybody, let's sit down, folks. As a matter of fact, let me have a seat. Sitting up here, jumping around like some damn Fruit Loop. Anyway, folks, What's going on? The Hip Talk Radio just popped in the room. How you doing this evening? Anyway, folks, hopefully you have a beer. Hopefully you have some vice towards you, because we need to have a talk. We need to understand that the social liberalism is just infected both parties. Whoever you vote for this coming election, you're just going to get social liberalism. You're going to get more bureaucracy. You're going to get more government, and that's what's unfortunate. We're this transition period, and I put that on the title of this program. People need to understand that we are going through a transitional period in American government. I mean, we are basically relinquishing power to those that want to put more government, more bureaucracy. They want to just go ahead and bow down to ridiculous liberal garbage. And as a matter of fact, I mean, this goes into that global warming crap. I mean, I think this is all a prelude, in my view. All this garbage that we're seeing, the hijacking of the Republican Party by the social liberals, and of course those long-haired liberal bedwetting hippies, excuse me, on the left, we all know about them. This is what's going to transpire here, folks. Is they're going to utilize global warming. They're going to utilize other methods to just implement more bureaucracy, especially global warming. Now, this carbon tax, I don't know if you folks are familiar with it. I think it's an agenda that is being put forth by everybody who wants to basically subjugate us into some sort of socialism or communism. Now, people are probably saying to themselves, well, Ghost, you're kind of off your rocker. You're kind of off your rocker. I'm not off my rocker. All the idiots that are out there playing with their pecker shafts out here and saying, hey, global warming's happening. Hey, global warming's happening. It's not happening, morons, okay? You know what's happening? It is getting a little warmer, okay? I'll acknowledge that. I'm not going to say nothing's happening with the climate, okay? But it has nothing to do with mankind. And if you don't believe me, why don't you go look it up and do your own research and understand that you know that the Mars polar ice caps, they're also receding as well. And there's not even a damn man on Mars, and yet you've got the Mars ice caps receding. It's ridiculous. I just don't understand it. Am I getting feedback here? I've got people saying I'm getting feedback in the chat room. Hopefully, I'm sorry, folks, if you're getting feedback. Blog Talk Radio is having all kinds of glitches. You know, it's having all kinds of problems. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. But if it gets too bad, we may have to reconnect. We may not. I don't know. But Blog Talk Radio needs to get their act together, with all due respect. All right? I mean, if they can't handle the workload, stop putting the Kentucky Fried Chicken grease thumb up your ass, take it out, put it in your mouth, and taste the crap service that you're putting out here, and maybe we won't bitch about it. Anyway, sorry. Back to this global warming crap. You've got Mars polar ice caps receding as well. There's not a damn man on Mars whatsoever, all right? Not a damn man on Mars whatsoever. And yet the ice caps are receding. That's right. The ice caps. And who cares, you know? Oh, yeah, let's just blame it on man. Let's put a tax on them. You know what these global warming nut jobs want to do? And you see, that's why I'm saying social liberalism has hijacked the Republican Party. This idiot McCain believes in this global warming crap. And what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's going to sit there and he's going to submit to the social liberals. They're going to tax all of us. You know this, right? They're going to tax us for breathing, for our supposed carbon footprint. And what is that tax going to pay for? It's going to pay for our own socialist ways. That's what it's going to pay for, folks. Welcome to the new socialist, communist America, folks. I'm sure Mao Zedong is probably, choking on his chopsticks right now because he can't believe that his dream is actually happening. He can't believe it. And let me tell you something, folks. I can't believe it either. I can't believe it either. I mean, and let me tell you, I've been around all these stupid, ridiculous podcasts from supposed Republicans. These people, I forgot which one I think it was called, I don't know. I don't even want to give the person that advertisement because he was a piece of trash, one of these supposed round table, so to speak, podcasts. And it sounded to me like, 4 cheese whiz guzzling rednecks, out of a single wide trailer park, getting their rotary phones together, saying, hey, we got to back up, we got to back up McCain, we got to get together with the party. I mean, are you kidding me? And then when I approach them with subject matters, well, aren't you voting against your principles by voting against McCain, or voting for McCain rather? Aren't you voting against your damn principles? And they don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Their feedback or their response is, well, would you want Hillary Rodham Clinton to be the president? Hell no, I don't want Hillary Rodham Clinton to be the president. Of course not. But I'm not going to sit here and just completely bow down to social liberalism. I'm not going to sit here and compromise my conservative beliefs because I got to be loyal to the party. Loyal to a party that's going to bow down to social liberalism? Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Hell no. And that's why I've taken the Republican out of this show's name. And now that's why it's called True Conservative Radio, because that's what I'm trying to get at. That's what we need to get back to, folks. Conservatism. Conservatism, folks. We had the CPAC conference the other day, and I was listening to some supposed bloggers that are out there. Oh, I'm out here at CPAC, look at me. I'm cool now, I'm blogging. I'm blogging from over here. Well, I decided to listen to some of those audio blogs, and there were some people broadcasting some video and all that nonsense out there. And they were grabbing conservative mouthpieces and saying, hey, let me have an interview. And, most of these conservative mouthpieces, they were bowing down to John McCain, for Christ's sake. Are you kidding me? These are people that are supposed to be proven conservatives, and I was about to puke. Are you kidding me? Good Lord. I don't know what's going on here. That's why I've denounced the Republican Party. I've denounced them. They have gone against conservative principles, and they are not getting my vote, and this is why. This is why all the true conservatives, and let me tell you, I get triple-digit numbers on this show, and I thank you all very much for listening. Especially the conservatives. I'm appealing to you. The conservative, the true conservative, not the person that's going to put blinders on their eye and go out and vote for John Turncoat McCain. Okay? I'm talking about the true conservatives that they just can't find it within them to vote against their principle. And let me tell you, my friend, you shouldn't be having to vote against your principle. You know why? Because this Republican Party has left you. And this is what I'm suggesting to all the true conservatives that are out there. Don't vote for any of these people. Now, I've been criticized big time, not only in emails. People are writing blogs about me. People are writing blogs about me saying, oh, this moron is telling people not to vote, blah, 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 blah. Hey, the reason I'm telling people not to vote is because by voting in this election, you are not a conservative. Absolutely not. All right? Absolutely not. Let me tell you something, and I don't care who you are. All right? I don't care who you are. If you're going to vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton, if you're going to vote for John McCain, then take the damn conservative out of your name. And I didn't really mean for that to rhyme or nothing, but just happened that way. But take the damn conservative out your name if you're going to be voting for any of these pieces of trash. Take the conservative out of your name. And let me tell you something, folks. If you're a conservative and you're hearing people trying to put the conservative label on themselves and they're voting for any of these pieces of garbage, you better give them a good smack to the mouth and tell them to take the damn conservative out of their name. because they're not conservative. They have bowed down to social liberalism. I don't care if you want to call it party loyalty or what. You are voting against your own principles. And let me tell you, Ozone just stated in the chat room here, we may never vote again. I think you're right, Ozone. I think you're right. I mean, I think we're going down a road to where, Mao Zedong, like I said, he's choking on his damn Ginsu knife right now because he can't believe that America is obliging to his dream. And I guarantee you he's doing it. Let me tell you something, Mao Zedong. If you can hear me, I hope you're burning in hell right now, you piece of trash. All right? You're a despicable human being. I hope you're getting anal rape with the devil's pitchfork because you deserve it. Because let me tell you something, Mao Zedong's dream is coming alive in America today. And it's a sad day for America, folks. It's a sad day for America, and I just don't understand it. Just don't understand why more people aren't outraged, upset. And I don't know what to do, I mean, I'm sitting here a true conservative. All I'm suggesting is that folks go out at a grassroots level and elect people in their state representative government, good conservative governors, conservative senators, congressmen. I mean, that's all I can suggest. That's all I can suggest, folks. And I'm sorry. I mean, there really is no alternative. I mean, I know that I may sound a little defeated, but I mean, there's still some optimism burning, I mean, there's still some fuel in the fire, but let me tell you something, folks. The odds are stacked against us. Welcome to the new American socialist communist country that we live in today. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a sip of this beer, and this beer is to what we used to know as America. So, America, we're going to miss you, buddy. We're going to miss you. And right now, I'd like for everybody who wants to chime in on what's going on this evening, unlike all these other jag-offs that are claiming to be bloggers and political broadcasters, these idiots want to talk about, McCain, can you get the delegates? Oh, Huckabee. Oh, Hillary Rodham Clinton is becoming a bull dyke. I mean, I don't care about that crap anymore, folks. We need to have some straight damn talk to the face. And the straight talk is, if you think that we're going to be still living the America that we've come to know and love, you're sadly mistaken. You're sadly mistaken. I mean, we're coming into a new socialist communist divide. And it's unfortunate, folks. We're going to end up like China, and if you don't believe me, you just wait. You just wait and learn. You see? And I don't want us to learn from experience. I want us to learn from history. That's what I want us to learn from. I mean, get some substance to yourself. Get some intellectual foresight and understand what's coming. It's communism and socialism, folks. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. Anyway, folks, you can give me a call like I've stated. You're listening to True Conservative Radio right here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I know I'm going off on a tirade here, folks, but, hey, I don't know what the hell else to do out there. I mean, all I can do is just spawn debate, try to perpetuate debate. That's all I can do. I mean, you're going to have liberal agitators from the left out here that are probably worshiping a copy of the Communist Manifesto that are going to continue pulling their methods of agitation and whatnot. But now you've got people that are Republicans that are trying to soften you up and say, oh, it's okay to be liberal. It's okay to be liberal. It's not okay to be liberal, folks. It's a sickness. These people are sick in the head. And all the Republicans that are out here voting for McCain, you people are sick in the head, too. You're going against your principles, and you should be ashamed of yourself. All of you. All of you pieces of crap. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a caller here. 419 area code, you're on the air.
Hi, Ghost. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. You're very funny. You make me laugh. I don't know if it's intentional, but when you go off on a tangent, it's really funny. I would just like to say I'm the one who goes off about Ron Paul all the time in your chat room.
Okay.
Why don't you like him?
Well, you know what? He's starting to look like a little bit more viable of an option as time continues on, to believe it or not. I mean, I never thought I'd say that. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about breaking this bottle of beer over my head for saying it, but to be honest with you, I think he's a viable opportunity. I mean, if any conservatives want to vote, I guess which I think he is going to run as a third-party candidate. Mm-hmm. I think that everybody maybe should look at him as an option. Now, will I vote for him? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, this is a sad day in American politics.
Mm-hmm. Because I hear when you talk, and you and Ron Paul have almost parallel views, but I guess maybe the foreign policy is where you guys differ a little bit. But Ron Paul's all about, everyone being able to live their version of the American dream, as long as you don't, force people to think the same way that you do. But I mean, I agree. I think when I first listened to you, I wasn't sure what to think, and I just want to preface this and say that I am a Black American, and when I first listened to you, I wasn't sure what to think of what you were saying at all. But I mean, the more you talked, I mean, you and Ron Paul have almost identical views, except for maybe the foreign policy about leaving other countries that we really probably don't need to be in, especially Japan. I mean, I don't see the reason to be in Japan anymore.
Sure.
But other than that, you guys have the same views. I'm glad that you're at least considering him.
You know what? I mean, I'm just doing it by default because I refuse to bow down to what both these parties are selling to me nowadays. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I may do it. I mean, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I mean, I'm pretty upset at this point. I mean, my blood pressure's probably pretty high. I mean, I'm probably putting myself in the grave right now just thinking about this crap. But, I mean, look, the bottom line is the reason I'm so upset is because the country is going down the tubes, and everybody should be seeing it. We're getting incremental socialism, incremental communism via these two parties that are converting to liberalism, and it's just a shame that nobody wants to talk about it. You've got more people worried about getting their candidate elected as opposed to talking about what's going on in America.
Absolutely. I think that the more that people see John McCain, and I guess as the election, treads on and everyone, the history of everybody comes out, the main two candidates for the Democrats and the Republicans, the people are going to see that there's really no difference between the two.
There is absolutely no difference between the two at all. I mean, at this point, maybe about 5-6 years ago, this is a pretty recent phenomenon that's happened, and we're seeing the relinquishing of power from, it looks to me like America into something that's going to be so bureaucratic and so, government structured that it may be something comparable to what we see in Red China.
I agree, and I think that the most telling thing for me, especially about McCain, because I was thinking that maybe I would vote for McCain if Ron Paul wasn't successful. Now, I did consider that. But then there was a statement that he made, I think, in the very last debate that the Republicans had, where he said that if it came down to a tough decision, he would consult with his lawyers and how to proceed with that decision. I'm like, why would you consult with your lawyers? Why not consult with, the Constitution?
Exactly. And you know what? I mean, and look, it's not like I don't understand why. It's not like I don't understand why people are, especially Republicans, are drawn towards Ron Paul. I mean, he is very, conservative when it comes to his domestic policies and his regards to the Constitution. But the way he's selling his foreign policy message, I think, is just a little bit too, I don't really know how to describe it. I usually say tuck tail.
Yeah.
But, at this point, I don't know. These are very precarious times, and I'm seeing a lot of oblivious Americans just walking around, half dead, in my view, because they're not understanding what's taking place in America. We're losing our sovereignty, in my view.
I agree, and I think that it may be a little bit, I think maybe that's where Ron Paul needs to probably get new advisors when it comes to foreign policy, because I don't think it's as extreme as people are making it out to be. He does want to leave places that we really don't need to be anymore, like Japan, and a couple of other countries where I don't think it's like, maybe Saudi Arabia, we're places that we probably wouldn't hurt to be at, but it's like places where our presence is no longer needed, and I think that's it's not as extreme as people are making it out to be, and I think that's probably where he needs to get better advisors, because it's coming off as all or nothing with him, and it's really not that way. It's just cutting back where things are not necessary, and he also said the main place where he's not going to cut spending is for defense. He's never going to cut it there, and he's never going to cut it for Social Security. It's just things like that. I think that over time with this campaign, as people get to learn more about Hillary Clinton and McCain, I think that he's going to be able to raise more money, and then he'll be able to afford to get better advisors. Because I think there's a big nuance that's being missed with his foreign policy that I think would draw more people, because it's not really all or nothing with, leaving other countries. And I hope that he can get that rectified before it's too late.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think he does need better language when describing his policy. Now, if he's talking about, maybe we need to look towards America's interest as a sovereign nation as opposed to a global police or, that I can understand, but the way he's coming across like he just wants to go ahead and just relinquish, just relinquish all kinds of military assets out of the international community and put them back here in America and just wait to see what happens, kind of an idea. And I just don't think that's appropriate, considering we've got other superpowers out here that are nuclear that would see a retreat like that as a sign of weakness and as a sign to move themselves in as a superpower and to control a good part of the globe, and at the same time possibly make a run for the United States as well.
I agree 100%. I hope that he can get, like you said, I hope that as time goes on, and he'll probably need to at least, I guess have conferences, like maybe with even Colin Powell, to get a sense as to how he can word it so that he doesn't lose interest with a lot of people. Because I think that his main focus of his message has always been the economy. And I think whenever people, even if the people who've heard of Ron Paul think of him and they think of the economy, because I think that as time goes on, as the dollar gets weaker, I think that's what he's trying to build his campaign upon and then just build from that. But when you talk about his foreign policy, when he talks about his foreign policy, he really makes people wary. It made me wary a little bit, but when I got to learn more about it and read more about it, I think as you get the time, excuse me, and that you look at the other candidates, I hope that you look into it a little bit more, because I think you'll be missing out a lot with Ron Paul. I really do.
Well, I'll look into it, but I'm pretty disenchanted at this point. I've told most conservatives out here not even to vote because, conservatism is pretty much obsolete when it comes to the Republican Party, and it looks like we're just kind of a people without a party at this point, because everybody's just submitted to the same liberalism ideology or the agenda, or whatever it is, and it's really frightening to see where we're headed, and yet we've got these mouthpieces out here, and I don't want to name any names, but people that are supposed, big-time conservative voices that are basically obliging themselves to this, and it goes against the principles. It goes against the very principles of what conservatism is, and I just don't understand why people aren't talking more about that. And whenever I try to facilitate a debate about that, I don't know how long you've been listening to this show, you'll hear Republicans trying to use the same methods of agitation and personal attacks on me like the left does because they hate my rhetoric. And it's just ridiculous that the Republicans have resorted to such left-wing communist-style methods of agitation to put their views across. And this is how I know that the left has hijacked the Republican Party. Now, you were suggesting maybe I should vote for Ron Paul. I don't know if I'll do that. I may have to do a little bit of research. I may have to do, I don't know. You had Ann Coulter, was it this past week, that suggested that she's going to vote for Hillary Rotten, which I would not, as a protest, of course.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't vote for Hillary. I'd vote for Satan before I'd vote for Hillary Rotten. And there's no way in hell I'd vote for Hillary Rotten. There's no way in hell I'm voting for McCain. So that pretty much leaves me in a dilemma, and that's why as opposed to voting for Hillary Rotten, I just might as well stay home, take care of my family on voting day as a protest, because, what the hell for?
I agree. I think people will realize as time goes on that if you vote for one, you're pretty much voting for the other, like we said earlier. And I just hope people, if you're going to vote for the Democrat as a protest, then I think you're just best not voting at all.
I agree.
I hope people don't do that. That's crazy. But thank you for letting me talk.
I appreciate your call, by the way.
No problem. It's like, this is my third time listening to you.
Oh, okay, great. Do you have like a blog or something you want to promote out here?
Well, it's...
Or a show or something?
Yeah, it's listed after my screen name here, Snorted, Smoke, and Pimpin'. And that just comes from a statement that Britney Spears made like a couple of months ago when she started to go completely crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that would be a good username. There's nothing behind it. There's no, nothing like that. It's just the name that came from Britney Spears losing her mind, basically.
No, hey, this is the internet. I've seen some strange names around here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. But I just have a random show. It's nothing that's really scheduled or formatted. I typically just listen to everybody else, which I like to hear everyone's opinion. But thank you for letting me call in. I'm going to just listen for the rest of the show, though.
Oh, well, I thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for calling in. You had great insight, and, who knows, maybe in a couple of weeks you'll hear me up on here saying, Ron Paul. But I don't know. I don't know yet.
I know. It's always like, do your research. But thank you for having me.
Thank you. You have a great evening.
You too.
Well, that was a great conversation there. I mean, had an individual trying to suggest that maybe I should vote for Ron Paul as a protest or as an option. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm pretty much in despair. I'm a man without a party, and I'm sure most conservatives that are out there are people without party as well. And what's unfortunate is that I don't think that there's a conservative out in the market that can, pull together enough campaign funds and possibly run as another independent candidate or under a supposed conservative party or something of that nature. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I know that the reason I'm stumbling over my own tongue like Al Gore trying to explain how he invented the internet is because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do, folks. I mean, I've already said that I'm not going to vote, and, I've been criticized on many people's shows, I've been criticized by people on blogs that, we got ghosts from True Conservative Radio trying to advocate people not to vote, and he should be shot, he should be hung, he should be put in jail. One idiot tried to say in one of these stupid blog talk radio shows that I was disrespecting the troops for not voting for McCain. And let me tell you something, and I'm pretty sure whether he's listening live or in the archive, you piece of trash, you're spitting on our troops by even saying that, you despicable, filthy human being. Because I won't vote for McCain. Hey, let me tell you something, all right? People that spilt blood for this country, they spilt blood for the right to vote or the right not to vote. So don't be sitting over here giving me this crap. Don't be giving me this crap. Anyway, folks, it's Friday night, it's Friday evening. Hopefully everybody has some sort of vice next to them, like I stated previous. I'm sipping on a beer. Hopefully you have a libation, pizza, coffee, whatever your vice is. As long as it's legal, hopefully you're consuming some sort of beverage with me, because let me tell you something. I need a drink after this political week. After what happened this week, we have nobody at this point that's in the election right now that wants to do anything about our borders. You've got John McCain over here wanting to basically give amnesty to all these 20 million illegal immigrants that have devalued American labor. And this is what I don't understand about most Americans, why they're not comprehending this through their thick skulls. Okay, this illegal immigration problem, even though the liberals want to throw a humanitarian spin on it, they are ruining the American dream for Americans, no matter what race, African American, Asian American, Hispanic, Latino Americans, people that spilled blood for this country, people that built this country. These illegal immigrants are making it hard or dissipating the American dream for American people. And this is what I'm talking about. We don't have an option anymore. These people are going to give 20 million illegal immigrants that came into our country illegally by breaking the law, they're going to give them amnesty, and I think it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Anyway, folks, you can get back to me, 646-652-4869. Welcome to the new socialist communist America, folks. That's exactly where we're headed. No matter if you vote for the Democrats or the Republicans, you're getting the same shit on a different plate. And excuse my French, but I hate frogs. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and go back to the boards, see if there's anybody here calling. We do have a caller here. 972 area code. Well, hold on just a second. Can't even get you on the... There we go. 972 area code, you're on the air.
Am I hearing Ghost himself consider Ron Paul as a candidate?
Well, I don't know anymore. Is this King Kong?
Yeah.
I don't know anymore, man. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, this is disgusting what's happened to the Republican Party. And look, I don't mean to be tooting my own horn, but beep, beep. I've been saying this all along that this has been happening. I'm glad that the mainstream media finally caught wind of this crap. That's the only thing that they've been talking about is the rift in the Republican Party, and I talked about it before it even happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what's unfortunate is now I have no candidate. I mean, not that I was going to vote for Romney, but I mean, I was starting to, since McCain was starting to take this lead, I was starting to think maybe the Mormon was the only option I had because he was the only man that was talking anything about the borders, no amnesty, nothing.
Well, I hope you know, of course, as well as McCain and as well as Huckabee and Giuliani and all the rest of them, the guy doesn't enforce, securing the borders like he should. And I'm not surprised. I mean, that's social liberal for you. But regardless, I'm going to tell you this. Since the first time I heard you speak about your stances on the conservative movement or about true conservatism, I've always thought you could be a Ron Paul supporter if you just didn't feel so hostile about him. I mean, I remember hearing you go from saying you couldn't stand the guy to the guy is dangerous for the conservative party to now saying that this guy he might not be a bad person. He might be a person that I can consider. I mean, you're saying I don't know, but I mean that's just as well as saying.
Well, you know what? I don't know. I mean, look, at this point, I'm either not going to vote or vote for somebody as a protest. Now, Ann Coulter made a ridiculous statement, and I like Ann Coulter. I think she's great. As a matter of fact, I get her emailed newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
But for her to sit here and suggest that she's going to vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton as a protest against what the Republicans are doing, which
she's a feminist.
I understand. Well, yeah, she is borderline feminist, but at the same time, she has made a couple of statements that women, are a little too provocative, and I don't want to get into an Ann Coulter debate.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is that she suggested that she's going to vote for Hillary Clinton in protest, which I think is the biggest travesty of all time, and I don't understand why she would suggest such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing I'm suggesting is that if you don't want to vote for any of these social liberals, just don't vote. Order a pizza. Have a barbecue or something.
That is what I'm saying. Man.
Because that's the only thing that's the only fun you're gonna have after whoever gets nominated for president gets power, because we are headed for either a socialist or communist-style America, and I mean that. I'm not just saying that just to be facetious or just for rhetorical purposes. I actually mean that, man. I mean, McCain is so much for bureaucracy. I mean, just look at the bills that he's passed. It just goes to show you how much government and bureaucracy he wants to implement on us.
Well, you got to remember, this guy's old, and he's a POW back in his war fighting or warmongering days, I guess you could say. And I mean that's why people don't want him in office. He's too old, and it's like he's a different person. Like you're a different person when you become a POW and a prisoner of war, and then you come back, and the guy thinks he can run for president, and of course he's undergone torture before and everything, and I'm sure of course that wasn't fun, but what makes it so dangerous is people think this guy is just too old, and he's undergone so many changes since his younger time, or his pastime, that, I mean, we don't know. We don't know if one day some politician could say something or something could happen in a region, you know, or in the Middle East, that he could suddenly just go crazy or something. I mean, people feel very nervous about this guy, and I mean, I don't try to use the fact that he has a mind disorder or he's crazy or anything. I just use the facts.
I just think the man is a liberal piece of trash, and that's where I'm basing my particular views on him now. Is he a little old? Yeah, he's an old prostate-infected piece of trash. But I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if that should not qualify him as president. I think what should not qualify him as president, at least running under the Republican name, is the garbage that he represents, which is more bureaucracy, more government. He's for stem cell research. McCain.
I thought he said he was pro-life, didn't he?
What's that?
I said I know what you're talking about, but funniest thing is he said he was pro-life.
That's what he said, but he's just a piece of trash. And what's unfortunate is that you've got a Republican Party which has been hijacked by liberals that are telling conservatives, just vote against your conscience. Just go ahead.
Conservative movement for you.
I mean, this is what they're doing. Did you hear the people at CPAC? Yep. I mean, these people were blogging. There were some people from BTR that were there on location. That ridiculous moronic buffoonery. Ed Morrissey, which is the sacred cow around here, was out there. He was grabbing CPAC CPAC attendees, and had a few people from the Heritage Foundation. I mean, real conservative groups that were advocating to go ahead and vote for McCain, and I was puking. I was puking up, man. Are you kidding me? I mean, what happened to the conservative movement is what I want to know. And I'm glad that there's a whole bunch of conservative folks, and that listen to me, because let me tell you, there are no more conservatives out here, in my view.
Social liberals, and there's socialists, I guess.
Yeah, social liberals and socialists and communists as well.
And what I was going to say is, there are people all over the internet I hear speaking of the whole issue of that they don't want to support McCain. And what the funny thing got me going is McCain's mother, who's like 96 or 97, even said herself that you'd have to hold your breath and support this guy if you expect him to be president. And I was always telling all the people that support McCain, or said they don't want to support McCain, and then I was on Pal Talk talking to somebody today saying that they don't want to support McCain, but they don't want to give up on the troops. I said, well, you can support the troops. You're not going against the troops. Don't let anyone tell you that you're unpatriotic because you won't support a warmonger.
Well, these Republicans nowadays. I'm telling you, they're utilizing the same methods of agitation as those in the left.
That's what I'm saying.
And I've heard these idiots on other BTR shows and other podcast shows. I've got blogs written about me and that sort of thing, that I'm a bad guy for suggesting to true conservatives out here not to vote for those communists on the left, and not to vote for the socialists on the right. And McCain is a damn socialist. Just look at all the bills that he's passed. Just look at his legislation. This man's, and you know what's funny to me is he's talking about no pork barrel spending. He's the most fiscally conservative moron, and he's never asked for any pork for his state. And yet this moron just recently signed in $10 million to go to the University of Arizona in taxpayer money. Yeah, thanks a lot, McCain, you piece of trash.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying right here. I'm telling these people who still say they want to be conservative, they don't. I've heard everything from A to Z. I've heard conservatives even say that. Well, one conservative said he was drunk when he said this, but I've heard conservatives say, well, I don't know, I don't want to support any. I want to support McCain. I know that McCain's all we got, so I'm gonna have to just do what I got to do and support Hillary. I'm thinking, are you serious? You're going to jump ship and support Hillary?
Well, some of these conservatives, have such a bad taste in their mouth, and, they just don't even, they're talking about revolting, they're talking about making protest votes, which I don't particularly see as viable. Why would you want to help the enemy to go ahead and take power? I'd rather be somebody that just doesn't participate in the process, so that whatever happens, whatever crap that happens, I can just say, hey, look, I didn't have anything to do with that. That's your fault.
Right.
As opposed to sit here and trying to consider that, well, maybe I should throw a protest vote to that bull dyke. I'm not going to do it.
I mean, and like I said, it's ridiculous, because I feel like we're losing conservatives to Democrats because they don't know how to support their own party. And I'm telling these conservatives that say they still want to be conservative, I'm telling them, I mean, if you believe in the true conservative movement and you think that McCain is nothing, and you don't want him to win, then support Paul, or either consider supporting Paul or just don't vote. Because I say the same thing as what I've said to people. I said if Ron Paul can't win, if he can't get his message across, then I won't vote. I don't see a point in supporting anybody else besides Ron Paul, and on the Republican side. And I feel like if you have to hold your breath and support McCain, you shouldn't be doing that. The American people should not be forced into voting for someone they don't want.
Exactly.
And they should not be holding their breath at all, saying, "Well, I mean, I don't want this guy, but I do want to support the troops, so I'm going to go ahead and hold my breath and go ahead and hit or check off McCain's name on Election Day."
And that's ridiculous, man.
I'm thinking that doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you don't want him to win, just don't vote. Now, some people will say a no vote is a Democratic vote, which I think is a lie. But what I'm saying about that is, if you feel that you've lost the message and the conservative movement, then just show your I guess rebellion or your retaliation to the party by just not voting. If there's no candidate that, of course, is about the right conservative message or is about even a conservative message at all, then just don't vote for him.
That's what I've been saying, man.
Yeah, and I know, and that's why I think that you'd be well as a Ron Paul supporter. It's just, I mean, you might have to come around for a little while. But I mean, I'll tell you like I told all the other people who have questions about Ron Paul. It's just you don't have to. I don't expect you to be all for him, head over heels, say that I agree with everything on the issues. I say, God forbid, nobody from being able to. From nobody being able to disagree with something that Ron Paul says. I personally don't, disagree with anything he has to say. I agree with a lot of his standpoints, but I feel that you can disagree with a candidate's standpoints and still support them. For the most part, especially if they're giving the right message.
Well, I mean,
go from there.
Not with McCain. I mean, there's just no way that that's going to happen with me and McCain.
Well, remember now, I said the true conservatives or the paleo conservatives, not the warmongering, social liberal, amnesty giving to immigrant pieces of shit, man.
And that's what it is. And you know that I have been chastised by Republicans in emails. As a matter of fact, I've been told in the chat room that they're having a supposed show about me tonight, like I'm some big bad guy. But this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I'm the bad guy. I'm a conservative, man. I mean, I'm the bad guy because I don't want to support some social liberal and John McCain who wants to put more bureaucracy, who stuck his nose in more private business. I remember when he was trying to regulate boxing. Remember that? What the hell are you doing, McCain? Won't you stick to the damn issues? Won't you help the American people? Who gives a crap about boxing?
He's doing exactly the same thing the liberals do. He is distorting the politics, the true American politics, and he's just throwing shit out there.
That's exactly what he's doing.
This, or we'll talk about this issue. I mean, the guy doesn't bring any true conservatism, and there's nothing on him that says conservative. I see Bush lover on there, and I know he's not conservative. So I mean, there's nothing about him that makes him conservative. So why should people be holding their breath to support the guy? I see no reason in that.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, man. It just makes me want to puke up and
it's like people want to endorse this guy. I mean, and say that we should throw our support behind him. And what's so sickening and frightening is that the guy himself, McCain, has gotten on both CNN and Fox News and stated that that I will unite the Republican Party. The guy's not even conservative. How's he going to unite the party?
Yeah,
I mean,
no
come
kidding.
on.
No kidding, man.
I mean, this is just that's what's really sick right there. I mean, a social liberal saying he's going to unite the Republicans, and yeah, I mean that's how sick this is. And not to mention the guy he's about one issue away from being a liberal himself, if not being full liberal, and because I know he's socially liberal with the economy and with immigration and those stances and everything. But I mean, on the sense of the war and foreign policy, the guy is just a warmonger.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can call him neoconservative. He's not a new conservative. The new conservatives, just have a different view on the war. This guy, I mean, he takes a new view on the war and just runs with it. It's like we have to kill everybody in the region that's of a different religion or that we think is a terrorist. So we can catch Osama bin Laden. And the guy, you think the guy is playing a video game when he says, "I'll follow Osama bin Laden to the gates of hell and I'll bring him to justice."
He's an idiot. He's just an absolute buffoonery, man. And, it's unfortunate that the Republican Party, these morons, and this is what I've advocated, all the conservatives that are out there, if they happen to see or hear, or if they see a blog or if they hear a radio show or a TV show where they have idiots that are putting the conservative label on their name and supporting McCain, they need to call those people up, write those people up, whatever it takes, and tell them to take the goddamn conservative out of their name because they're not conservatives. These people are social liberals. They should be ashamed of themselves. And what's unfortunate is that you have this propaganda machine that has basically submitted all these Republicans. All these Republicans to social liberalism, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
I'll tell you this one thing, too. I definitely feel your pain when you got Republicans and conservatives calling you out, telling you that you're unpatriotic. I mean, on my blog on YouTube, when I start talking about Ron Paul and I start saying, I start talking about the issue, not just about Ron Paul, but just speaking of the issues for what they are. It's like I get called all kinds of names. I get told that I know nothing. I'm I'm just an idiot. And I have not. And on top of that, I think I remember conservatives saying he's ashamed to call himself conservative because of my stances. I'm thinking, come on, man, you ought to know better than I do that the conservatives have definitely lost their way if they ever had. If they ever had.
They've lost their way in the Republican Party. I mean, there's still many of us out here. The unfortunate part about it is that we've just basically lost the Republican stronghold. Conservative principles are no longer the root foundation of the Republican Party, and they should be ashamed of themselves about it. And as a matter of fact, these ridiculous Republicans aren't. I mean, the average everyday Republican isn't anymore, and it's disgusting, man. It's just pathetic.
No, I mean, like I said, I feel you all the way, but I mean, I tell every one of the conservatives that wants to debate me on that issue that, I mean, you are obviously, if you're going to tell me that you're ashamed of me for even calling myself conservative, you might want to look at your background, who you're supporting, because you're obviously not looking in the mirror for what you really are. You're actually just pointing fingers and saying that I'm not, you're being just like the liberals and saying that this person is wrong for supporting, their stances because they know good and well this is not going to happen, or we need to do this, or I mean, and like I said, they sound. If you just listen to these people that support McCain and Huckabee and even supported Romney, you know that they shouldn't be believing half the stuff they say.
Yeah, I agree.
It's ridiculous, and like I said, that's why that I feel that I don't expect Ron Paul to unite the party. He's been outcasted by his party, and I do believe that he is getting his message out, because if you notice, Romney, of all people that have dropped out recently, was like a multi-primary / caucus winner, and on top of that, Giuliani was a front runner of the campaign. Ron Paul has never been a front runner. He has yet to hit the top of the conservative party, and I mean, there are all these people that were ahead of him, like Fred Thompson, Mitt Romney, Rudy Giuliani. All of them were ahead of him. Even Sam Brownback and Tom Tancredo were kind of neck and neck with him and trying to pass him up. But all these guys have dropped out. All these big-time conservative, so-called conservative men or candidates have dropped out. So,
well, they were actually suppressed by the Republican Party. That's what's unfortunate.
Right.
About it.
And so what I'm saying is, what has happened is, Ron Paul is arising amongst all this neoconservatism and all this social liberalism, and he's showing what a true conservative is. And they think that, and so many conservatives want to call you crazy. I mean, I say whether you support Ron Paul or not, don't let any neoconservative tell you that you don't know what you're talking about, that you're an idiot or you're dumb for. I mean, I know you don't, Ghost.
No, I mean, hell no. These people are a bunch of neurotic buffooneries that are probably tickling their anal passages while sitting over here bowing down to a social liberal like McCain.
That's what I'm saying. I feel that if you have nothing better to do than to come on any social networking site and say that this guy is an asshole, or this guy is a dumbass, or this guy is this guy is that because he supports Paul, or he supports the true conservative movement, I say you really got too much time on your hands. If you got the time to do that, and I mean, you could really be. First off, it's a waste of time. I mean, why get on someone's page and just talk about them because you don't like their view. But at the same time, I do support differences in views because I want to talk to people who disagree with me on my stances, because I want to know what's in their head. I want to know these people who call themselves conservative. I want to know what makes them conservative, or why they believe a certain conservative message that's being said by a presidential candidate, and why they think this one should win. If it not be Ron Paul, I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
no, hey,
I definitely feel you.
No, we're going to segue into another part of the show, man. Do you want to promote your blog?
I've never been much for advertising, but I guess I will. I mean, anybody can. If you want, I'll post it up in the chat. But if you want to find my blog, it's youtube.com/KingKong62X. Always just type King Kong 62 and then put an X at the beginning and X at the end, and there you go.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your insight, and who knows, man? Maybe I'll be submitted to voting for Ron Paul. I don't know yet. I have to wait and see.
I'll say it like this, Ghost. I won't do anything, and hopefully no other Ron Paul supporter will do anything like this. We don't pressure anybody to support Ron Paul. We just state the issues, we state the facts, and we only hope people will come around. I think that you're starting to come around. It's just you might need your own time to consider what's out there. That's okay. That's perfectly fair.
I may need to do that. I'm not sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate your call, bro.
No problem, man.
You have yourself a great evening.
All right, you too.
Well, that was King Kong, a Ron Paul supporter. As a matter of fact, I seem to be attracting a lot of Ron Paul supporters. Maybe it's because I'm not obliging myself to this ridiculous Republican Party anymore. Maybe because I've got my own conservative mind. I'm being informed in the chat room that you got BTR hosts making, entire shows dedicated to me. What kind of ridiculous garbage is this? I mean, this is the same methods of agitation as the people on the left use. Are you kidding me? I mean, I hope that some of these conservatives that are listening and that listen to these BTR hosts that are trying to criticize me because I don't want to vote for a social liberal like McCain, I hope that you can confront these idiots and say, wait a minute, why are you criticizing a fellow conservative? I mean, weren't you a conservative, you piece of trash? Didn't you use the conservative label? Or what, are you just sitting there playing with your schlong head every time you say it and saying, maybe not? You're ridiculous, all you Republicans. It's disgusting. I mean, you're just, how can you call yourself conservative if you're going to vote for any of these people, is what I'm saying. Oh, Jesus. Let me tell you something. I get so angry, you know what I mean? I think I may break something tonight. You know what? Give me about a half hour. I think I'm going to break something because this is pissing me off. This is upsetting. I'm a conservative, damn it. I'm not some bad guy. I'm not out here advocating socialism like these social liberals on the right and the left. I'm not some bad guy that's suggesting some sort of radical idea. The only thing I'm suggesting is conservatism, saving the American family, having the society having some sort of social moral ethos. All right, securing our borders, getting these illegal immigrants the heck out of here. And you see, I'm sick and tired of people emailing me saying, you know what, Ghost, you're talking so much about the border because you're racist. You're racist against the Mexicans, Ghost. That's crap. That's absolute crap. I'm not racist against anybody, all right? I'm from Texas, all right? In Texas, we have a cultural melting pot, as we do all across the United States. And I'm friends with all people, okay? With American people. Whether they be African American, whether they be Hispanic, Latino American, Asian American, just straight American, all right? People that spill blood for this country, people that help build this country, people that pay taxes, that work their tails off to achieve the American dream. Those are the people that I care about. And there's no racial divide when it comes to me. I fight and speak for all those people. But I'm not speaking for these illegal immigrants, okay? I'm not speaking for any of these illegal immigrants that are out here draining our tax system, okay, that are qualifying for supposed socialist-style handouts and entitlements. You got these illegal immigrants basically having the ability to accept food stamps and subsidized housing, and we're isolating American folks that need this. I mean, this is crap, folks. But we're just going to see more of it. I mean, you people need to understand that we're going to see more of this crap. Because these 20 million illegal immigrants, they ain't going nowhere. And as a matter of fact, right now, as I speak, there's probably 50 illegal immigrants that have been smuggled in this country as I've been doing this show. And they're going to continue coming in, and there's nothing we can do about it because we have two social liberals on the right and the left that are going to give these people amnesty. Yeah. And you see what these Americans don't understand, and I'm talking about these Nimrods that are dedicating shows to me, to Ghost. You've got people on the Blog Talk Radio Network dedicating shows to me. And these are Republicans, folks. These aren't left-wing long hairs. If they were left-wing long hairs, I'd probably go listen to them because I'd be amused about it. But no, it's not. It's Republican people. It's people that used to call themselves conservative that are sitting over here criticizing me, trying to chastise me, spread slanderous lies about me because I won't vote for a social liberal like John McCain. This is what they're doing. And this is what's unfortunate, folks. And let me tell you something, all of you Republicans that are out there, you should be ashamed of yourself for going against your conservative principles. I don't give a shit what you think it is, and I'm sorry for cursing, folks. I don't care what you think it is, being loyal to the party, voting against Hillary Rodham. I don't care what it is. If you're voting for John McCain, you piece of crap, you are not a conservative, and you need to understand that and get through your thick skull, and you need to get that conservative out of your name. All of you people that are supporting John McCain, get the conservative out of your name. And what's unfortunate is I don't hear enough conservatives upset about this crap. You had CPAC conference where all these conservatives get together. And what happened? They embraced this imbecile John McCain. That's what they did. They embraced this social liberal John McCain, a man that wants to give people, 20 million people amnesty, who got into this country illegally. What else does he want to do? He wants to put more regulation, more bureaucracy. He wants to put government in our lives even that much more. This is what we're seeing. And nobody wants to talk about it. All anybody's doing, you know what, and this is all I hear. All I hear, folks, this is all I hear is that, well, you know what, Ghost, you need to stay loyal to the party. You need to stay loyal to the party. Stay loyal to the party. Why the hell do I need to stay loyal to a party that doesn't stay loyal to the conservative principles? Won't somebody answer me that? You got all these jagoffs out here, all over BTR. Let me tell you something, folks. These people that are having shows, BTR shows, podcast shows about yours truly, these people are trying to masquerade what I'm telling you. You understand? They're trying to blow smoke screens in front of you. They're trying to use methods of propaganda that the communists use so they can agitate and not have you understand the truth. And the truth is welcome to the new communist socialist America. Because that's what we're in now, folks. We are in a new communist socialist America. And it doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter if you vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton. It doesn't matter if you vote for John Turncoat McCain. You're going to get communism on the left. You're going to get socialism on the right. And who's going to get screwed in the end? The American people. The American people are going to get screwed in the end. You've got people in here that want to give amnesty to 20 million illegal immigrants. And you see, folks, it's not because I want them not to have a good life. All right, I understand that the liberals try to put that humanitarian spin. Even this piece of trash, this prostate-infected windbag, John McCain, even tries to highlight that. Remember his good old speech? Oh, I'll pay any American to go out and pick lettuce $50 an hour. Remember that big old speech? He said that he'd pay any American $50 an hour to go pick patches of lettuce. But they'd have to pick the whole season. That's the only way they'd get paid if they picked the whole season. And he guaranteed that no American would take it. Well, he's a bunch of crap. He's a bunch of crap, and anybody in here knows it. Anybody who's struggling with their bills right now knows it. Anybody who's working 10, 15 hours a day for half that pay knows what I'm talking about. Because that's what conservatism is, folks. You know, we're not like these elitist, these elite liberals out here, like liberal Hollywood. Conservative people are working people, hard-working people, people that still believe in the family. People that work 15 hours a day and not think twice about it because they come home and they put food on the plates, they put lights in their homes, they put clothes on their back. And this is all conservatives want to continue to perpetuate. We don't want to live in a socialist society, all right, McCain? We don't want to live in a communist society, all right, Hillary? We want to live in America, and we want to continue to perpetuate the American dream. And let me tell you, I don't understand why there's not more American folks that are more upset just like I am. Remember, folks, I'm not some left-wing nut job here, okay? All right? I'm not sitting here talking from Karl Marx's Das Kapital or Communist Manifesto. I am speaking to you as a conservative Republican. That's what I'm speaking to you as. You see all these other bloggers out here. And like I stated previous, I understand that I'm having shows on BTR, on the Blog Talk Radio Network. I'm having shows by other Blog Talk Radio hosts dedicated to Ghost. I mean, you got Republicans dedicating whole shows to me because I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy or something. No, you don't want to know why they're having shows about me, folks? It's because they know I'm yanking the goddamn Republican Party right out of the social liberal closet, and they don't like it. They don't like it, and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Anybody who tries to put the conservative label on their name and votes for John McCain, they need to take that damn conservative out of their label. Because they are not conservative. They are social liberal pieces of trash that probably wouldn't care if there were 100 million abortions right now, that could care less if there was oral copulation being performed between two men across the street from an elementary school. These social liberals don't care about that. They don't care that you've got single-parent families out here as the social norm, the social majority. They don't care about that anymore. They don't care about the American family. They don't care about saving the family. You notice that? We just passed tax season, you know? And you know that all these females that are out here that have about 6 or 7 kids from about 6 or 7 different fathers, guess how much money they're going to get for their little tax return, huh? $1,500 to $2,000 a kid. We're only perpetuating, the government is perpetuating the destruction of the American family. And folks, without the American family, nobody has any reason to work anymore. Nobody has any reason to fight anymore. This is what I believe is happening. We are having a systematic destruction of the American family via liberalism, via feminism, and nobody wants to talk about it. All they want to talk about is how crazy I am. In the meantime, we've got American families broken all over America, and it's now the social norm. It's the damn social norm. Anyway, folks, I'm a little upset, folks. As you know, welcome to the new socialist communist America, folks. I mean, we have a blatant communist on the left of the political persuasion, and we have a socialist on the right. There is no option for true conservatives anymore, folks. No more. No more. And let me tell you, folks, I am so upset. Let me drink some alcoholic beverage, and hopefully you're sitting there with me with one of your vices. Because let me tell you, it's Friday evening, folks. I know this is a serious show. I know I talk about a lot of serious issues on here, but occasionally I need to just chill out, have myself an alcoholic beverage, just calm me down a little bit, because let me tell you something, the destruction of America is finally happening. And this is why I'm having a hard time containing myself, controlling myself here, because I cannot believe I'm seeing the destruction of America. We are now in the new socialist communist America, folks, and if you don't believe me, you just watch. After this election, you're going to see more government and more bureaucracy shoved down your faces, and I want to tell you, just like I'm telling all these Republicans that are out here right now, okay, I told you so. Because I was the first one that even mentioned that there was a split in the Republican Party, all right? There was a split in the Republican Party. You can go back into the archive and listen to me. I had been talking about this before the mainstream media had even caught wind of it. People were criticizing me long before the mainstream media was sitting over there blowing it out of their hole. Piece of trash. Anyway, folks, you can get back to me. This is True Conservative Radio right here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. You can get back to me at 646-652-4869 is the number to call. If you're a long-haired liberal bedwetting hippie that thinks you can sound off like you got a pair, give me a call right now. And if you're one of these right-wing liberal pieces of trash that have hijacked the Republican Party, I dare you, give me a damn call right now. All right? Give me a call and talk to me straight, face to face. You know, you have Republicans now calling me up, giving these little prank calls on the air. Can you believe this? Republicans prank calling a conservative? That's just ridiculous. I mean, this is a new America, folks. This is it right here. And it's sad. It's a sad day in America. It's a sad, sad day in America. Anyway, folks, we're going to go ahead and segue into something completely different, okay? We've already talked about welcoming ourselves to the new socialist communist America. That's all there is to it. I've already laid the case on why. I told everybody that this was going to happen. I told everybody that conservatives were going to be isolated. I told you so. I told everybody. So, all you Republicans that are scrambling, trying to throw smoke screens, trying to convince Republicans screw Republicans, trying to convince conservatives to vote for McCain, you can continue to try, but true conservatives will not vote for McCain. True conservatives will stay home. They will stay home and not vote for any of these people. And if you're a true conservative, I suggest you do the same. Protest against this social liberalism and not vote for any of these pieces of crap. Any of them. I spit on all these people. I spit on you people. That's right. Let me take another drink of this alcoholic beverage before I have a goddamn heart attack. Sorry, folks. I know that I'm maybe a little high-strung this evening, but I have lost my party. The conservative movement are people without a party. And it's a shame, folks, because conservatism was the root of the Republican Party, and now these jagoffs have just basically isolated us. They've isolated us like a bunch of Nimrodic buffooneries. You've got the social liberals utilizing the so-called token social conservative, Mike Huckleberry. They're utilizing Mike Huckleberry as a tool to make social conservatives look like a bunch of idiots. All right, Mike Huckleberry wants to change the United States Constitution in something that looks like the Bible. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous to me. It's pathetic is what it is. But anyway, I was supposed to segue out of that. We are segueing out of that. And we're going to talk about the feminist movement. Anybody who's been following my show knows that everybody... well, I should say most females don't like my viewpoints on the feminist movement. I think the feminist movement has basically implemented the pussification of America. You can basically take a look at it by our gender-biased justice system. All right, I mean, this gender-biased justice system, you can see that, the pussification, the absolute pussification of America has been implemented, and you can thank the feminist movement about it. They've emasculated the American male. And this is what I've been suggesting, folks. I mean, just take a look and try to talk to somebody under the age of 30. All right? I'm not saying everybody under the age of 30 is a damn fruit bowl. I'm just suggesting, why don't you just go talk to somebody under the age of 30 and take a look at the feminine features and their physical attributes and the feminine vernacular. I mean, you know, this is what I'm talking about, folks, and this is what the feminist movement has implemented. Anyway, everyone out here knows that I'm anti-feminist. I mean, the feminists has ruined America. They've ruined society. And I'm not saying that women, you see, and this is what these feminists like to call up and say, well, you want us barefoot and pregnant, Ghost? Is that it? No, I don't. All I'm suggesting is that I acknowledge the fact that the suffrage movement, the feminists at the turn of the 20th century, I understand they needed to be there. I understand they accorded the woman the right to vote, the woman the right to work. I mean, I commend them. They were true patriots. I'm talking about the 60s feminist movement. These hairy, arm-pitted, Gloria Steinem bulldykes. That's who I'm talking about. These people that claim that, you know, it's woman's world, deal with it, you know, that burning their bras and muff diving, doing all this crap. That's who I'm talking about. They have ruined, not only have they emasculated the American male, but they have turned the woman in America. They have turned the average woman into a subliminal prostitute. A subliminal prostitute. And the reason I suggest that is because what do you have? You know, the average male under the age of 30, they're out here buying all kinds of materialistic widgets from $10,000 watches, $3,000 suits, $50,000, $60,000 cars. And why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Are they doing that for their own materialistic needs? No. No, he's not. He's doing it because he's trying to make himself a woman. And that, my friends, by very definition, is prostitution. And you have the feminist movement encouraging this activity and disguising it as empowerment. That's what you have, folks. That's what it is. They are disguising it as empowerment. They are utilizing sexual manipulation as some sort of power. It's ridiculous. It really is. I mean, you know, and they've emasculated the American male. I mean, if you talk to the average American male under the age of 30, you know, most of them sound like they just popped out of the ass crack of George Michael. But that's just between you and me. Anyway, folks, everyone knows I don't like feminists. I think they've ruined America. Not just feminists. I think the liberals have as well. But the feminism is a branch of liberalism. They just call themselves something a little different. But I wanted to share with you some liberal hate mail that I have. Liberal hate mail. And let me tell you something, folks. If you want to respond into some of this liberal hate mail, you can get back to me at 646-652-4869 is the number to call. We were just talking about how we are welcoming everybody into the new socialist communist America. We've segued into the feminist talk. Everybody knows that I'm an anti-feminist. These women have just gone completely berserk. That's why the feminist movement has made it okay for women to shit out about 5 or 6 kids from 5 or 6 different fathers and made it socially acceptable, made it the social norm, because they're disguising that as woman liberation. They're disguising women shitting out about 5 or 6 kids from 5 or 6 different fathers as woman liberation. They're disguising women that are having 5 or 6, 7 different divorces as woman liberation. That's what they're disguising it as. Now, am I suggesting that, you know, males that are unprotected in their sexual relations, that are out here impregnating women like they're going out of style, that they deserve to get off? No, I don't. I think that they should be held accountable too. But with all due respect, I mean, you have females nowadays that are basically, you know, opening their legs to anybody with a big fat pocketbook or something that looks good in a leather jacket, and they're disguising this sexual promiscuousness as some sort of form of liberation. That's what you're having out here. Anyway, everybody pretty much knows my views on the feminist movement. We are reading feminist hate mail, because I get a lot of it, folks. Let me tell you, I get a lot of feminist hate mail. And before I read this feminist hate mail, I'd like to apologize to all of you if I happen to say a few curse words, because a lot of this is verbally colorful. And we're just going to dive right into it and, you know, talk about some emails that I've gotten from some of these feminists. So here it is right here. Now, the first email is from Gina from Arizona. Okay. Ghost, you are the biggest male pig I've ever heard in my life. Someone needs to throw you off the air before people actually start listening to you. That was Gina from Arizona. Well, you know what, Gina? People are listening to me, you stupid piece of trash. So you can continue getting a little upset at the fact that I'm on the air and I'm exercising my freedom of speech rights, while you can just sit over there and continue to shove bonbons down your gullet like a damn garbage disposal. How about that, Gina? Hopefully she got that. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next one here. The next one is from Roberta. Roberta from New York. Now, if that isn't more of a Bull Dyke name, I don't know what is. But here we go. I was shocked to listen to your broadcast and to hear people that actually agree with you. You and your listeners are all sick, twisted, demented F-words. That was Roberta from New York. Well, let me tell you something, Roberta. Obviously, you've listened to my program, and you probably kept listening. As a matter of fact, you're probably finger-banging yourself listening to me right now, so I don't even know why you're even flapping your fat fingers on the keyboard and writing me an email about this crap when you know and I know you're listening to me right now. So you're a piece of trash. You can continue flapping your fat fingers on the keyboard. You're nothing but a bull dyke feminist. You have no substance. All right? I provided substance upon substance on the debating table. You have no substance, so go piss off. All right, let's move on to the next one, folks. This is Emma from Illinois. Illinois, excuse me. Emma from Illinois. Ghost, you sexist asshole. I hope someone... hold on. Stupid broad can't even write correctly. I hope some woman slices off your head and menstruates down your throat. No, that's nice. I am a woman. Hear me roar. That was Emma from Illinois. That was a really nice sentiment there, Emma. Do you talk to your children that way? Is that how you threaten your children? I'll slice your head off and menstruate down your throat? That's a very vivid sight. That's very verbally colorful, and I'm sure your mother is very proud of you, for saying that. You're a pathetic human being, Emma. And for you to say such a disgusting thing, you should be ashamed of yourself. And as a matter of fact, you should probably be prohibited to have any more children. Anyway, here we go again. Oh, we got a guy now. Here's a guy, Greg from California. Greg from California writes, I think you are a pathetic soul that should be locked up for all the BS that you say. People like you aren't around anymore. Deal with it. Oh, good God. Here we go again, I should be locked up. I mean, how should I be thrown in jail? I mean, why should I be thrown in jail? Because I'm just sitting here trying to save the American family and promote true conservative values. Why should I be thrown in jail? See, this is more liberalism, folks. Hey, you're not agreeing with the liberal principles. You should be thrown in jail. This is what liberals want. This is what liberals want. They want to jail you for not thinking like they do. This is what I'm talking about. Anytime you try to facilitate a debate with anybody on the left of the political spectrum, and anytime you provide any type of substance and corner them, what do? They resort to these personal attacks. They resort to logical fallacies. They'll lie. They'll do whatever it takes to suppress your perspective, even though you're the one that's correct. And that's the left for you, and as a matter of fact, you're starting to see remnants of it on the right. Anyway, moving on, shall we? We've got a couple of more of these, and I'm sorry, folks, for being so verbally explicit. There's some people in the chat room right now reacting to Emma from Illinois' little email stating that she hopes someone slices off my head and menstruates down my throat, which is probably the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life, and I'm sorry I had to say that over the air. Anyway, moving on. This is from Margarita. She didn't leave where the hell she was from, and I don't blame her. But anyway, it says, you're lucky I don't know where you live because I'd be glad to do all women a favor and silence you forever. Women are soon going to be in control, and you men will have to serve us like we've served you since the beginning of time. And that was Margarita. Well, are you kidding me? First of all, your name is Margarita, you stupid dunce. All right? I mean, how are you going to sit over here and intimidate me with a name? You're named after an alcoholic beverage, you stupid whore. All right, and you're sitting over here trying to talk garbage at me that you hope a woman silences me forever? What, because I want to save the American family? Because I'm talking about the social ills of America? You want somebody to silence me forever? Are you kidding me? I mean, this is what I'm talking about, folks. Your name, this broad's name is Margarita. Oh, jeez. Anyway, one more, folks, and then we're going to move on from this. One more. Anyway, Margarita, I didn't say anything to Margarita. Margarita, piss off, all right, you stupid broad. All right, if you think you've got enough gall to find me, you come on down here and you find me, and I will make sure that you're dealt with properly, all right, you alcoholic beverage name piece of cheese whiz gobbling, nipple clamp looking, butt plug up the ass having garbage. And excuse my French, folks, but this broad said she wanted to kill me, so. Anyway, here we go again. This one is from somebody I don't know. It's an anonymous sender, and, I don't have a name for this piece of trash, but we're going to read this last email here. This is hate mail. Here we go. I've been listening to you for a while now. I was hoping no one would listen to you and you would go away, but you haven't. Of course I haven't, because I'm a conservative, you Nimrod. Anyway, let me continue. I think everyone who listens to you, whether they like you or hate you, should be injected of cancer of the cock. Oh, man, and I don't think she means a rooster, folks. I mean, or he, or whoever that was. I mean, that was an anonymous email. But this is what I'm talking about, folks. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm getting. And this is from feminists. These are from left-wing, long-haired liberal hippies. And I'm sure most of them, and a lot of them are from Republicans as well, because I'm not obliging myself to the Republican Party. This is what I'm getting, folks. This is what I'm telling you. I'm not joking with you people. I mean, this is why I don't go out, like most of these jag-offs online, they like to use their full name, like they're going to be some sort of, freaking reporter or something, I mean, like they're really going to be somebody. Hey, my name is, Ed Morrissey. Look at me. I'm a fat jelly-ass bald guy, but I can blog. That's all, folks. I mean, give me a break. I mean, I get death threats on a daily basis, folks, and those are the only ones that I picked out that were my favorites. Typical ones are, I'm going to kill you, unoriginal, none with any type of personality whatsoever. The ones I just read you had a little personality to it and made me chuckle a little bit. But this is what I get on a daily basis, folks, because of my political persuasion. Because of my political persuasion. This is what I get. And people hate me because I'm just saying something. This is what I'm getting here. And here I have some Nimrodic buffoonery in my chat room named Teddy Fleck. Teddy Fleck, that's probably one of the most fruitiest names I've ever heard next to Boy George. But he's sitting over here saying, oh, well, why don't you go ahead and use your name, big man? Well, I don't want him to use my name because I'm going to have nut jobs like yourself, hanging dead cats from my damn porch. You piece of trash. So don't be sitting over here flapping your gums at me, or actually you're not flapping your gums, you're flapping your fat Dorito-stained fingers on the keyboard, talking garbage to me. So don't say anything like that. You understand there, boy? Anyway, folks, I know I'm going off the handle here. I'm a man who's lost his party. The conservative movement are people without a party. I can't believe we are welcoming in a new a new liberal America. This is what we're doing. We're embracing a new liberal America. A new liberal America is what we're embracing out here. A new socialist communist regime out here. More bureaucracy. You're going to have government shoved down our throats. We probably won't even be able to go into the bathroom anymore without some government bureaucrat looking at what color our damn stool sample is. It's ridiculous. And I'm not joking, folks. I bet you're probably thinking, oh, that's funny. He goes, it's not funny, man. I'm serious. I'm serious about this crap. I mean, there is no choice. Left, right wing, it's the same wing. It's the same damn thing. That's why I suggest all the true conservatives that are out there, don't vote for any of these people. And if anybody criticizes you, because believe me, I seem to be the talk of the town out here in Blog Talk Radio Network. I've got all these ridiculous Nimrodic buffooneries that claim to be Republicans that are out here dedicating shows to me because I'm advocating the fact that true conservatives shouldn't vote. They shouldn't vote. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to bow down to social liberalism, you piece of trash? That's what you're going to do. You're bowing down to social liberalism. Let me take another sip of this beer. I mean, I'm just getting sick. I'm telling you, one of these days, you folks, if you keep tuning in, I may just puke on the phone. I may just start blowing chunks on the phone because I get so physically ill to my stomach knowing that America's going down the road that is going down. It makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach. And let me tell you, if you're a conservative, it should make you sick too. It should make you sick too, you piece of trash. Anyway, folks, that was a pretty hard little segment that we had, feminist hate mail. And let me tell you, it's getting worse and worse, folks. And, you know, it's not that I want females to be, you know, barefoot and pregnant, man. I understand. This is America. This is the land of the free. All right, if a woman wants to go out, she wants to become a corporate mogul, she wants to be a scientist, she wants to be whatever she wants, she has the right to do it. All I'm saying is that when a woman gets pregnant and a woman gets married, she has to understand that you know, there's a certain code of moral ethos, I mean, that's been prevalent since the beginning of humanity, that you must abide by, and that is that you have to take care of the children. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, folks. I mean, if you look back at tribes, I mean, you know, what was the foundation of tribes back in the old days? Tribal relations. It was family. I mean, family is the crux of humanity, folks. And here you have liberals in America trying to destroy it. As a matter of fact, I think they've done a pretty good job of destroying it. Because what do you have? You have broken homes. You have single-parent families. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. And if you were a two-parent family raising a child, it's getting more and more difficult for you to raise a decent child because it's not your fault. You're out there, you know, busting your chops, you know, getting your nails dirty, working 15 hours a day to put food on the table, clothes on your back, roof over your head. But you've got single-parent kids of single-parent families that are influencing your children. That's what they're doing. When you send them to these public schools, which they should abolish, like I've stated, they need to abolish public school. All it is a social arena and for drugs, sexual promiscuousness, gangs. I mean, I can go on and on. You know what public education and what breeds in that social arena. It's just a joke. All right, and the teachers aren't teaching our children or any of that. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off on a tirade on public education, but, I mean, we need to do something, folks. We need to do something. Anyway, folks, I don't know. I mean, hey, look, I know that everybody's just sitting there saying, man, Ghost, I mean, where do we go from here? I don't know where we're going from here. I mean, this is the new socialist communist America, where liberalism and feminism are taking root, and they're going to just control our everyday lives. They have emasculated America, and not only have they emasculated America, they have grown us accustomed to being accepted, to accept entitlement programs, to accept government, to be in our lives as much as possible. They're trying to disguise this whole global warming garbage as some sort of mechanism to tax us for breathing. And believe me, that's the whole objective for global warming, folks. And if you think it has anything to do with us, you're an absolute moron. Tired of these idiots. Oh, we gotta go green, Ghost. Oh, I gotta get a recycled paper, recycled cup. You don't know crap. Why don't you read a little bit about Mars and understand that Mars's ice caps are receding at a faster rate than the United States' ice caps. Why don't you read a little bit about that? You can Google that, by the way. Not that I'm promoting Google. Whatever search engine you use it and read about it and understand that, wait a minute, how come Mars's ice caps are receding and there ain't a damn man on Mars? How about that? That's because the sun is getting hotter, folks. That's what's happening. That's what's happening to our climate. The sun's getting hotter. All right, if you don't believe me, take a look at some of Jupiter and Saturn's moons. Take a look at that. Take take a look at the ice caps on those things and how they're melting as well. It's the sun, folks. It has nothing to do with man. It has nothing to do with man doing anything because you're sitting there, driving your car. I mean, you have these stupid environmentalists that are trying to blame global warming on cow farts and on farting. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is the most sickest garbage I've ever heard in my life. And you know what? This is a religion to most folks. You know that? I think it was the one of the originators to one of these, or Greenpeace, that's what it is. It was one of the creators of Greenpeace that recently suggested that 80% of the green movement, the whole foundation of why they're behind the green movement is to implement socialism. I mean, you can look that up too. Whatever search engine you do, look it up. Look up the founders of Greenpeace, and you're going to hear or see a quote from them suggesting that 80% of the green movement are socialist. And the other 20% actually are utilizing this whole green garbage as a religion. A religion. Religion. That's what I'm saying. I mean, these people are paying more money for green garbage. Haven't you noticed that? Haven't you noticed that most of these idiots that are so green, these advocates, these environmental advocates, these idiots are paying more for average goods and thinking it's okay about it? They want you to think it's okay about it. They want you to pay more for crap. They want you to feel guilty for something that doesn't exist. Now, do I believe that the climate is changing? Absolutely, folks. Do I think it has anything to do with man? No. Hell no. It's ridiculous. Global warming is a joke, man. And like I said, if you don't believe me, please look up how the Mars ice caps are receding at an even faster rate than America, or than the world, the Earth. Take a look at the Saturn and Jupiter's moons. Take a look at it, man. Look it up yourself. Don't let these damn socialists fool you into believing that, oh, well, we have to do something before the Earth explodes, or before it corrodes, before it floods, before it does this, before it does that. Hey, if it happens, folks, it has nothing to do with man. It has everything to do with the sun getting hotter. All right, that's what it has to do. The sun is getting warmer. And that's all there is to it. Anyway, folks, man, I'm telling you, this is just draining me, folks. You know, I always have optimism, you know what I'm saying? I'm always out there wanting to fight the good fight. You know, I always have, passion. I always have fury. You know, whatever I say to you, you know I mean it. I mean when I say what I mean. I'm not out here like these jagoffs talking out both sides of their mouth. All right? I mean, what you hear and what you see is what you get, folks. But sometimes, you know, like I stated in the last show, I take a sigh. You know, I take that big sigh and take a look at this beer, take a swig of it. And I think to myself, you know what, Ghost? What the hell for? I mean, look, it's obvious that, I mean, I don't know if it's obvious, but society is taking such a bad turn. And it looks like these people are begging for their own communist enslavement. I mean, why? Why bother? Why bother, Ghost? Why continue fighting? These people obviously think it's, human freedom, woman liberation, or whatever the case might be, to go out and have, broken families with 5 or 6, 7 different kids from 5 or 6, 7 different partners. I mean, that's become the social norm nowadays. It's become the social norm for people to, go in and out of divorces, changing divorces like, dirty skid-marked underwear. I mean, it's okay for this crap. I mean, this is just unfortunate, man. I mean, is there anybody else that's as mad as I am? And here I got Republicans that used to talk against this. I mean, I'm sure all of you that have been around, maybe for the past 15, 20 years can remember that, the Republicans used to be strong supporters in what I was talking about here. And now I'm the outcast. Can you believe this, folks? Can you believe that I'm the outcast? I mean, I am talking to what conservatives used to talk about, and now I'm the outcast. I'm being chastised by Republicans because I am not obliging myself to voting for a social liberal piece of trash like John McCain. And now I'm the bad guy. You know, now I'm the bad guy. I'm public enemy number one. You've got people on the Blog Talk Radio Network, you know, having shows dedicated to Ghost over here, suggesting that I'm some sort of a nut job, I'm some sort of a freak show, whatever they're trying to spread, whatever slanderous lies they're saying about me out there. The bottom line is that I'm a true conservative. All right, I've been a lifelong Republican, but I'm a conservative first and foremost. I am a foot soldier for the American family. I think that everybody should do whatever it takes to save the American family. All right, that's the only thing that people have to live for. If they don't have that to live for, then they'll submit to any communist government that forces them to oblige themselves to whatever regime necessary. Because they're not going to, I mean, what are they going to fight for? I mean, you know, they're single parents, they're broken homes. I mean, it's just disgusting. And like I've stated previous, folks, it's been the American family, or not the American family, it's been the family, the traditional family unit that's what's gotten the world going. I was alluding to this in the last show. The reason that the English settlers came over here to America, or to the New World is what they called it, was because they wanted more opportunity for their family. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, folks. The family motivated these people. The family motivated them to take risks, take chances, to progress their family's, wealth and well-being and social status and all that garbage. I mean, the American family encouraged people to fight in wars to protect their homeland, to work 15 hours a day to put food on the table. This is what I'm talking about, folks. And we're losing it. We are losing it, folks. Anyway, I just wanted to take this time out to thank everybody who's been listening in to me. We got a little bit less than 20 minutes left. I just wanted to tell everybody, please, if you got one of those MySpaces, I just recently got on MySpace about a couple of weeks ago. If you got one of those MySpaces, please, hook me up as one of your friends. You can get back to me at myspace.com/ghostpolitics. All one word, no underscores, none like that. myspace.com/ghostpolitics. And, post me a couple of bulletins out there, Spread the word, become a foot soldier for the American family, for conservative values. All right? I mean, I am grateful for all the conservatives that are in here. All the conservatives that are in here listening to me, because without you, I wouldn't be up here, because I'm not getting paid for this crap. I mean, not that I want to get paid, but I just want to spawn debate. And if you're hearing me, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I know that I'm saying some things that you're agreeing with. Okay? I know that. That's why people keep coming back to listen. They may not agree with everything. I may be a little extremist on certain things, and that's fine. But this is America. You have the freedom of thought around here. All right? And as long as I'm, creating some mental synapses in that brain spark, hopefully you can perpetuate that. Hopefully you just don't let it stay there and become a brain fart and put it in the back of your recollection. Everything that you hear me say, no matter what show you hear it, no matter whether you're hearing it live or in my archive, I want you to take whatever I say, whether you agree, whether you disagree, I want you to take it and say it to somebody else. All right, this is what we need. Say it to somebody else. If you disagree with something I say, won't you share it? Won't you email my show to somebody else? And tell them, hey, do you agree with this crap? So on and so forth, man. Pay it forward. Tell somebody what you heard on this radio show. When you're at your next family or friend event or a gathering of some sort, you tell them what you heard. You ask them their opinions. This is the only way we're going to understand each other, folks. It's the only way we're going to perpetuate any type of critical thinking. This is it. So I beg all of you that are out there listening, no matter where you're listening to me from, whether you're listening to me live right now or you're listening in the archive, I beg you folks, if you agree or disagree with whatever I say, just perpetuate it. Just say it to somebody else. That's all. If you're talking to somebody, say, hey, you know what I heard the other day? That's all it is. And then you get to talk about it. You have civil discourse about it. And maybe y'all learn something from each other. Maybe y'all don't. Maybe y'all hate each other. Maybe y'all understand that you are completely on different sides of the political or social spectrum. Just do it, folks. We need more conversation. We need more people talking to each other. Nobody's talking to each other anymore. You know what they're doing? They're watching the boob tube for their news, and what are they doing? They're getting bamboozled. That's what's happening. So I beg you folks, if you happen to hear something on this radio program, you don't like it, you like it, whatever the case might be, there's a little share option on the Blog Talk Radio player. Share it, man. You know, send it out to somebody. Send it out to somebody that'll hate it. Send it out to somebody that'll like it. If you don't have enough time to do that, you remember some of the things that I talk about on here. Talk about it with your family. Talk about it with your friends. Have some civil discourse. This is the only way we're going to be able to change minds in America. This is the only way. If not, we're going to submit to the communist socialist America that we've come to find out that we're going to have to get used to. And it's sad. It really is sad, man. Oh, man. Sometimes I'm just a little bit too drained, folks. You know, I mean, I go up and down. I'm sitting over here putting in a lot of heart, putting in a lot of passion to what I talk about, what I speak of. I'm speaking of this because I love America, folks. All right? I love America. I don't know about you people. All right? I know there's a lot of left-wing, long-haired liberal hippies that are out there right now, not giving two rats' asses about America. On the contrary, they think that America owes them everything from a house, a car, a job, a cot, their girlfriend, their wife, their dog, their goldfish. You know, they want everything from the government. They think the government should give them every single thing. And like I stated before, folks, money means nothing. All right, money is just, it's abstract. All right, when you're on your deathbed, money ain't going to do you a damn bit of good. When you're stricken with a critical ailment, money isn't going to do you a damn bit of good. You know, George Harrison was one of the Beatles. He was the guitarist for the Beatles. He was a billionaire. And he got throat cancer, lung cancer. And he spent millions and millions of dollars to try to figure out if there was any way to save his poor life. But he couldn't do it. And that's what I'm telling you, folks. You can sit here and you can worry about debt, you can worry about money, you can worry about all this garbage, but what you need to worry about is not who you can be, but what you are. And what you are is a human being. And what you need to do is understand that we're all part of humanity. All right, we're all part of this, social experiment that is America. We are the greatest society on the face of the planet. We are the greatest social experiment in world history. But we're about to see it dissipated. We're about to see it dissipated by a bunch of power-hungry autocrats. And the only way we're going to get it back is if we have civil discourse amongst each other. Remember, there's many ways to fight wars. You know, some people use weapons, some people use violence, other people use words. And in this civil society that we live in, I suggest to all of you to go out and try to provide civil discourse to everyone you know out there, whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, and make them understand that, you know, maybe they need to take their eyes off of the spinning money wheel and maybe need to put their eyes back on what really life is about. And life isn't about going out here trying to become Mr. Daddy Warbucks, you know, going out here trying to buy the $70,000 car, $500,000 house, and all this garbage. Life's about what you make of it. Life to me is about making as many good, long-lasting memories as possible. Family, tight-knit relationships, that sort of thing. And this is what I was suggesting the last show. No matter what happens, you see, this is why I don't care who's elected, because we're going to get socialism or communism either way. So whoever's elected, it doesn't matter what they do to me. It doesn't matter what they do to us. All right? I mean, they could kill me tomorrow, and I will die knowing the fact that I had a great time on this world. I spent a lot of good times with my family. I worked hard. I did what I had to do, and I did the right thing. And that's all you can do, is do the right thing. That's all you can do, folks, and that's what I'm suggesting. I mean, everybody out here is trying to say I'm such a bad guy. You know, and don't let them fool you. You know, I mean, I just want to save the American family. I want to save the American way. I want to keep our American sovereignty. I want to keep the American identity. I mean, I have ancestors that spilt blood for this country all the way down the line to my present day. And I'm telling you, they would rue the day if they knew that they were fighting to what is about to erect itself in our modern-day political system. I mean, I bet you they wouldn't have fought had they known this was going to evolve into what we're seeing here in present-day America. And it's a shame, folks, and, you know, as a true conservative who, you know, puts emphasis on family values, social issues, that sort of thing. I mean, you know, I bark a lot about, you know, how these social ills are becoming the social norms. I know I talk a lot about that. I know I talk a lot about, you know, saving the American family and that sort of thing. But in my view, I think we need to save America, because America's going down the tubes. And the only people that are happy about it are the liberals right now. They think it's great. Oh, we're living in the greatest America in history. This is great. You know, we're liberal now. You know, we've got liberals on both sides of the political persuasion. And you should hear these left-wingers on here, man. You should go on and, you know, just peek into a left-winger podcast, a left-winger show. And they're happy at what's going on right now. You know, these left-wing, borderline communist, Marxist-worshipping pieces of trash. I mean, they're cracking open a beer in joy. I'm sitting over here cracking open a beer in depression. They're cracking one open for joy, because this is exactly what they've been wanting, they've been planning for. And to be honest with you, I don't know. I had some Ron Paul supporters suggest to me maybe I should vote for him. You know what, folks? I don't know. And I've talked a lot of garbage about Ron Paul. But who the hell knows at this point? I mean, if nobody's going to oblige themselves to the conservative values, then I don't know. I am not going to be like Ann Coulter, and I respect Ann Coulter. I think she's a good conservative. But I'm not going to sit here and make a protest vote. That means you're aiding and abetting the enemy, Ann. And if somebody could get that message to her and say, hello, McFly, hello, and you know, smack her upside her blonde head and understand, and make her understand that she is supporting the left-wing communist agenda. Somebody needs to tell her that. But I love America, folks, and I just don't want to see it go down the tubes. You know, a lot of people died for this country. A lot of people died for this country in hopes that we would get to the plateau that we have seen. And it seems like we've hit that peak, and now everything's going downhill. Everything's going downhill. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised in 4 years we couldn't even vote anymore. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing, you know, pictures of Karl Marx and Frederick Engels being erected all over the United States. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt if they start, you know, putting on, I mean, they already got abortion, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if they start some form of eugenics out here. Oh, well, you know what? You look retarded. You know, let's go ahead and off you. Oh, you look a little ugly. Let me go ahead and off you. Oh, you're a cripple. Let me go ahead and off you. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing that crap in the modern-day communist socialist society that we are living in, that we are seeing in. There is a new red horizon, folks, and it's not China. Even though I hate China, and let me tell you something, China seems to be the model of what is going on here in America, and I think that most Americans should be ready and ready for anything, to be honest with you. I mean, we're in some precarious times. I don't understand why these damn sheeple out here aren't waking up to it. You know, I mean, they're just completely absent-minded to the fact, and these are conservative folks, too, you know. I don't know if somebody got to these people, or they're being paid off, or, you know, they're cleaning enema bags for a living. I don't know what they're doing, but they have completely reversed themselves on what the conservative principles are. And to go back and sit here and say, I'm going to vote for John McCain, which is a social liberal, which is some bureaucratic piece of power-hungry trash, is just ridiculous to me. And I damn all those Republicans that are out here on the Blog Talk Radio Network talking trash about me. And let me tell you something, if this was a damn bar room or something, they wouldn't talk any trash about me because I would stomp a mud hole in their ass, I'd kick it dry, and then take a dirty yellow bubbly piss in it, and all they can do is look back at me with a yellow liberal smile about it. Isn't that right there, you dumb Republican pieces of trash? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, all those Republicans that are trying to disguise themselves under the Republican label. You're what I'm talking to. You're the people I'm talking to, all right? And I'm waging a war of words. That's right, I'm waging a war of words against all these liberals that are out here, whether you're a blatant communist liberal on the left or a socialist liberal on the right. I'm talking to all of you. We are not going to accept communism. We are not going to accept socialism, you piece of trash. This is why I'm suggesting to all of you folks, if you hear something on this radio program that you like or don't like, just perpetuate it. Just talk about it. Talk to your friends about it. Talk to your family about it. Say, hey, look, I heard this on this show. What do you think about this, this, and this? And get their viewpoints on it so you can sample people, so you can feel and actually hear what people are thinking, how they believe, how they come to this damn conclusion. Because that's the only way we're going to be able to rectify this problem. And the problem is, folks, the problem is liberalism. Anyway, folks, it's about 3 minutes in, or 3 minutes until the end, I should say. I wanted to thank everybody for listening in. I wanted to thank everybody for being with me here in the chat room. King Kong, Snorted, Ozone, thank you very much. I appreciate your patronage. You guys rock. We get great numbers, and we get great numbers because we have people that listen in, like King Kong, like Snort, like Ozone, that are great listeners, that call in, provide great insight, and I thank you once again. And I appreciate it genuinely. Anyway, folks, you can get back to my blog, and I hate plugging this damn thing because I start to sound like Ed Morrissey. You know, this ridiculous piece of trash Ed Morrissey over here, which is the conservative mouthpiece on BTR. And he's not conservative, folks. I mean, I know everybody thinks he's conservative because he puts the damn conservative on his label. He's not. He was sitting there for Romney, and since the Mormon abandoned ship and decided to put his magic underpants on and do a little dance with his wife in the privacy of his home from now on, now he's voting for McCain. He's like, oh, well, maybe we need to go ahead and bow down for McCain. You're a piece of trash, and you know it. And anybody who's supporting McCain that's putting a conservative label on their name, you tell them to take the damn conservative out. Take it out. Out. Take it out. Anyway, get back to my blog, folks. conservativeghost.blogspot.com. That's my blog, folks. And as a matter of fact, you can get back to my MySpace, myspace.com/ghostpolitics. The next show, I really don't know. Tomorrow evening, I think we might have a discussion about the global warming situation. I haven't really decided yet. As a matter of fact, I'm a little upset to even think about it, but it'll definitely be up. Remember, I'm on every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. And I encourage all of you, if you're bored, late one night, you have nothing to do. If you have absolutely nothing to do and you're getting drunk or, you know, whatever it is you like to do, please visit me in the archive. You can get back to me at the archive at blogtalkradio.com/ghost and just listen to them. All right, just kick back and have a few laughs, reminisce. You know, I go buck wild all the time. You never know what the hell I'm going to say. I mean, I could break something. You know, I've been tempted to break, as a matter of fact, I've been so tempted to break something on the air, I almost want to do it just to do it, you know. But anyway, folks, I hope you listen to me. It's going to be a great show tomorrow. I'm going to choose a great topic. It's going to have nothing to do with the elections coming up like most of these jag-offs on BTR. It's an original topic. Please tune in with me. Get back to me, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. God bless America, and God bless this country, and long live the conservative movement. Death to feminism.